All right, so welcome everybody. My name is Danielle Bercier. I'm so excited to see everybody this evening. We will be sharing this session. So if you or someone you know would like to have a look at it and didn't have a chance to watch it, you can request a copy of the recording. I'm a mom of two boys, 6 and 8 years old, and married a wonderful military officer in the Air Forces, Canadian Air Forces, and we've been married for 10 years. We also adopted a hockey player for the winter, so she's been living with us for the hockey season, and she's like a big sister to our two boys. And just to keep things interesting, like there's nothing else to do, we also have two puppies that are keeping us on our toes. Joining me this evening, I should mention I've been growing my own produce for 3.5 years now, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to expand. I need at least 3 more towers just because it's amazing, and I might be a little bit addicted. But joining me this evening is my wonderful cousin France. Her and I have grown up together since we were little girls. We're like soul sisters, and I'm very grateful to have her here with us tonight. And she'll be also sharing about her experience at Tower Garden. France?
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's really nice to have you here with us. Me and Danielle were both passionate from the heart for this Tower Garden. So my name is France Garneau, and well, I'm also a mom. I'm a single mom of a beautiful 10-year-old boy, and even though I don't have any puppies and everything, it's still busy for me. So technically, I have had my tower for the past year. It's been a year now. And in the past, I was, well, I'm still an entrepreneur. Pre-pandemic, I had my holistic wellness studio. So I have been working in health and wellness, nutrition, and taking care of self and the body and everything for quite some time. Now my studio is closed. However, my passion for health and for good nutrition and everything, that is still there. It will never go away, even though I don't work with clients in my studio anymore for that. But yeah, so that brings me to how much I value what this beautiful Tower Garden gives us. For me, I call it the gift that keeps on giving, because it literally, you know, when you grow your own food, it's almost like you are printing money, you know, yeah, it's just amazing. So I've had mine for a year. However, Danielle has spoken to me about it when she started 3.5 years ago. And at that time, I wasn't in the right headspace, I think, to jump in and have mine, but I can't wait to have 2 or 3 more as well. When I move out of my apartment and I get into a house, for sure, I'm going to have more.
Excellent. And so before we get started, I'm just going to ask if everyone can keep their mics muted for now. Our presentation is going to be roughly between 20 and 30 minutes, after which we're going to have about 10 minutes to answer any questions. And we invite everybody who was invited here to contact the person that invited them. If you're ready to purchase your tower, then that person can connect you with what you need to do next. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. And just minimize a couple of windows here so I can see.
You put that picture there. That's pretty cool.
I did. Do you like it?
Yeah.
So, so just to fill everybody in, this is France, her son, Leo. I believe he's 10 years. Is he 10 now?
10, yeah.
And so Leo is France's little engineer. and he has assisted France with all of the assembly of the tower. And so as you can see, it's very family friendly, kid friendly, and we want to encourage the whole family to take part in this. So what exactly is a tower garden? It's a vertical aeroponic growing system, and it uses all natural earth mineral growing tonics. So the minerals that we use, or the plant food or the tonic, it's all the same thing, and it's naturally derived from the ground. So for example, if you were to grow your food in a traditional garden outside, the plants would find those nutrients, the minerals, in the ground and from compost that you would add to your garden. So where we have a tower garden that doesn't have soil, we need to add the nutrients for the plants to get it from somewhere. So we add it in the water. And this wonderful concept was developed by Tim Blank, and it's also been recognized by NASA. And so the tower garden actually makes gardening easier because it's easy to install. You have, a couple of little booklets to kind of walk you through the process. There's videos as well, but it's if I can assemble it, pretty much anybody can. It's definitely not like from IKEA. IKEA can get a little confusing and complicated. This is not that. It's super simple to maintain. So when your tower is assembled, you're going to plant your seeds in your little rock wool cubes. So we don't use dirt, we use rock wool cubes. And you're going to watch it grow for 2 to 3 weeks. And when it has a little bit of roots, or about 2 inches tall, you're going to transfer it to the tower. And from there, you're going to add water to your reservoir, nutrients. You're going to take 30 seconds to check the pH, super simple. And then you're literally going to watch it grow. And when it's big enough to eat, you're going to harvest whatever you need and leave the rest in your tower to keep growing. So like I mentioned, there's no dirt. And so because there's no dirt, there's no weeds, because it's grown inside in your home. And you do have the option of growing it outside as well. And because we grow it inside, you can grow it all year round. So you have your vine-ripened plants that have all the phytonutrients that to nourish your body, as opposed to what we buy at the store, which has been harvested before it was ripe. And so that it would go through the whole transport process of the harvesting to the store to your hands. They can't harvest it when it's ripe, because then it wouldn't make it to the store without going bad on you. So France, if you want to take over.
Okay, so as to continue on the same line that Danielle was saying, we're talking here about the grocery store. Well, I mean, obviously we pay for our food, and on top of it, when you want to have organic food, it's even more expensive today. And there's the phytonutrient deficiency, which Danielle just spoke about. Of course, certain items we can buy from the store. However, as much as possible, if we buy local from fresh local farms, or even better from our own gardens here at home, as soon as we pick it up, we don't lose that nutrient density, which is very much appreciated from our body. So everything is picked ripe, super nutritious, great tasting for the whole family. We can't emphasize enough how much kids love the process of growing food in the tower garden, and of seeing the plants, take shape, and then seeing the whole process. We appreciate it so much more as well. And it's just beautiful to have that life as well, just like I have mine here in the kitchen. And it's really beautiful and pleasant. So the tower garden is also environmentally friendly. We use only water with minerals, as Danielle said. The minerals are liquid. There's 2 bottles that comes when you get your tower garden. You have everything you need to start up. So it's only with water, and yeah, so there's not any waste of water, like if you have to spray your garden or things like that. It recycles 98% of the water, for the reason that when the pump actually takes the water up and it kind of it comes down to it's almost like a fountain. It comes down to nourish all of the roots. So it keeps on recycling. The water keeps on recycling, and there's only 2% that will evaporate. So there's no waste of water, and there's also no problems of humidity. A lot of people sometimes are asking that question, and they're concerned for the humidity that it can cause in the home. But because of this, there's no problem with humidity at all. And also for those that, another benefit, because actually the tower can be indoors or outdoors, either way. In Canada here, most of the people, we all have our tower indoors, because just to bring it outside for the short summer months, and then bringing it back in. And then you have to deal with the the bugs and stuff like that. So, but however, it's still possible if you have a beautiful outdoor space, you can. And then one of the benefits is that you also control what you put on to protect your plants from the bugs outside, compared to when we buy at the store. On the pesticide and herbicide, we have no clue where these veggies have been, and what they were sprayed with, right? So.
Absolutely. And so the next big question is, how much does all this cost? And obviously it is a very important question, but Tower Garden makes gardening affordable. If you have a traditional garden outside, you're going to spend a lot of money on nutrients for the soil and compost and whatever else you have to put in there. And whereas the Tower Garden is very self-sufficient, and it actually pays for itself typically in 6 to 12 months. And obviously depends what you're growing in there. But for me, for example, when I was looking at kale at Christmas, when my kale wasn't quite ready yet, I was going to have to pay $6 for a small bunch. And I eat kale for breakfast and lunch. I make smoothies with it. I make salads with it. And so just buying it at the store would have cost me $12 per day some days. And just that alone would have paid for my tower in less than 6 months. And I'm growing string beans and Swiss chards and cucumbers and everything else in there. So you can imagine it does save you money in the long run. As well as, for example, herbs. I use a lot of basil. And when I buy it at the store, I'm going to pay $6 or $7 for a small package of basil, and I'm going to end up putting half of it back in the fridge and probably throw it out within a week, because it's not going to last in the fridge. Whereas in the tower, you only harvest what you need. So you save a lot of money that way as well. When you purchase your tower garden, you have the opportunity to pay it in full or choose a 12-month payment plan. And it doesn't matter which payment plan you choose. There is absolutely no interest on those payments. So it's exactly the same price whether you pay it up front or use the payment plan. So when you look at the towers, there's actually 2 styles. Like France has mentioned, she has the home tower and I have the flex tower, and we're going to go into those details a little bit more down the slides. But technically, essentially, you're going to pay between $100 and $135 a month before taxes for either one of those towers. And a lot of people wonder, like, exactly how much does it cost per month electricity wise? And we've done the math here in New Brunswick, and it's about $10 per month with the current rates. So it's very affordable when you're thinking you're paying $2 for 50 to 200 seeds. You know, it's really not expensive to run when you look at it that way. And I can't click to the next. Oh, there we go. So again, to show that kids are very much involved in our tower garden fun. This is my tower back in Cold Lake, Alberta. Last winter. This is also my son, and he was very excited about the bell peppers. My kids eat bell peppers like candy. So he was very happy to show off his bell peppers that he was growing. So you really don't need a green thumb with the tower garden. I labeled myself having a black thumb because I couldn't keep any plants in the house. Anybody who gifted me plants, if my husband gifted me flowers, they would literally die within a couple of days. I just was not good for plants. So my husband laughed at me a little bit when I got my tower garden, and he said, "Can you actually grow anything in there?" And I thought, well, you know what? I have nothing to lose. And it's been an amazing experience. So no green thumb, no problem. As we mentioned, it's great for family participation. And when the kids watch and plant the seeds and watch it grow, they're actually excited to eat what they have grown. So it entices the kids to eat healthier. And it's ideal for people with handicaps or elderly population where you don't have to kneel or, you know, stand for long periods of time or bend over so much. It's very accessible and super friendly.
Okay, I was seeing my mute. All right. Okay, so how does it all work? It's so simple, and for me, I find it's ingenious. So I think I touched on it just briefly. As you see here, you see the little graphic. So we start with the reservoir, which is right at the bottom here. Like I have the home version, the tower that I have. So that reservoir is a little smaller than the one that Danielle has, the flex tower. So we'll cover the difference shortly. So yeah, so we put the water, the nutrients in there. So there's a ratio per nutrients with the water that we follow. There's also the pump. And every 45 minutes, everything is automatic. So there's nothing to manually to be doing. You can be gone for a week in vacation and come back, and you're going to have a beautiful, lush tower that will have grown. It's always a nice surprise when you come back to see how much it has grown because you haven't harvested anything. So technically the pump shoots the water all the way up. There's a central tube, and then it's going to drip down like a fountain. So nourishing all of the roots all the way down. And it functions 5 minutes every 45 minutes. So it's 24/7. That's the way the pump goes. So because it's aeroponic, so with air and water, there's continual oxygen, water and nutrients, and it's such an optimal environment for plants to grow, which means they will grow about 3 times faster and produce 3 times more than a regular garden. The plants, they don't have to fight for the minerals when they're in the earth. So the minerals, they're completely absorbed by the roots because of that. So that means we can harvest on a regular basis. So if you need a few leaves, I have here, my plants are bigger than what is shown on the screen when I look at my tower, but I have beautiful Swiss chard here. I have romaine lettuce. I have 3 different types of kale. They're not full grown yet. Yeah, so and the other day, my son, I made him a cheeseburger, and he never wanted to have lettuce on his cheeseburger before. And this time he said, "Hey Mom, can I take a leaf? And I want to try lettuce." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he loved it. We just picked a few leaves. so fresh, and then here you go. So you can harvest as you go. You can also harvest, if ever, let's say you want to harvest a full, let's say romaine lettuce, you can let it grow to its fullness and then just pull the whole thing out with the roots. But also you can just keep on picking the bigger leaves, and it continuously regrows, and you can eat on these plants for about 4 months. And the kale and Swiss chard, we can eat on them, the same seed from the same plant up until like 6 months, easy. Those, the romaine, the Swiss chard and the kale are hard to kill. I mean, these plants are super resilient. So there's, again, like Danielle has mentioned, so we don't have any weeding. There's no dirt. You don't even have to wash them. You pick it and you put it on your plate or in your dish. You don't have to rinse with water and all of these things. So it's truly the world's, the first like plug and play vertical garden, we could say. Plug and play because it's really not complicated to, to put together and to use and to benefit from it. So now the difference, there's the flex model and there's the home model. So I have the home model here. We're gonna go into more details afterwards, but to make your choice and to see which tower would fit your needs best, it's really depending on what you want to grow. But both towers can be done indoors or outdoors, and we just have to specify, obviously, if we put the tower outdoors, we don't have any growing lights, but indoors we require the growing lights. And in Canada, at some point, your tower will have to be indoors because of the winter, but people in the south, like Florida, some of them have their tower outdoors all year long. And you want to add something, Danielle?
Yeah, no, actually that was really good. So essentially, like France mentioned, it really depends on what you want to grow. The flex was designed to grow outside, but you can grow inside. And the home was designed to grow inside, but can actually function outside as well. The only big difference is that you would remove your lights if you were going to grow outside. And here, France, do you want to get started on the differences? And I'm just going to start my phone so that I can show my tower.
Yeah, okay, so, oops, there's a feedback. I was hearing my voice back. No, but I think that's good. So you have here both. Like I mentioned before, the first difference is the reservoir and the amount of space also that we need. So for the home, it's about 13 gallons approximately of water that goes in it, and it's 2.5 square feet of floor space. It's not a lot of space. You just need a little corner somewhere. It's really doesn't take a lot of space. But for the flex, there's 20 gallons of water that goes in there, and it's 3.5 square feet floor space. So it's a little bigger. However, what you see, the white compartments where we grow the plants, these white compartments are the same size. It's really the reservoir that's the difference. And with the home, there's wheels built in the reservoir to move it around. So with the flex, the wheels are not built in. So there's Tower Garden also sells wheels, like a kind of a tray that you can put your tower on, and it's highly suggested if you need, to move your tower around. So those are the difference. Then the most important question is what you want to grow. The home is considered best for growing everything that is green. So all greens, lettuce, leafy greens, herbs, things like that. If you feel like growing vegetables, bigger vegetables such as cucumbers, you can go, peppers, tomatoes, even squash, even watermelons if you want. There's broccoli. My goodness, there are so many things you can grow in the tower. The flex, we cannot see it here. There's no picture, but there's also a support cage that comes with it. You'll probably see Danielle's. So the support cage is for the vines, the tomatoes and the cucumbers. When they grow, it makes, it becomes long. So it's to support the plants. So we can't have that with the home. That is with the flex. However, with the flex, it's not just for big veggies. You can grow your kale and all of your herbs and all of these things as well. It's not limited just to veggies. And you, with either or, whichever one you get, you have, when you buy it, you do have the nutrients that you need. You have a pH balance kit. Sorry, you have the raw cool, which we put the seeds in. The raw cool, we have 2 trays to put these seedlings in. I mean, you have everything. We have the pump, the little black, the panier, the basket that go into the tower. So you have everything really that you need. Also, I think Tower Garden gives about 6 packs of seeds to get you started. However, Tower Garden does not sell seeds, so you have to get your own afterwards, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. The lights, as we mentioned prior, the lights are optional. We have to buy it separately because of the reason that some people live in a tropical climate and they have their tower outside and they don't require lights, but they're highly recommended, especially in Canada. Is there
That's
anything
amazing.
else?
Thank you so much, Vance.
Good.
I'm just going to escape from the presentation here for a quick second. And I know you're seeing me double here, but I'm just going to give you a quick peek at my tower. So this is the flex. I have a little gate here because my dogs actually love eating off of the flex. They love eating kale. So I just want to show you a couple of things that I'm growing here. I have some mint and it's actually going to flower. I find the flowers beautiful, so I had to leave them.
Oh my God, your mint is big.
They look like little snowballs, the flowers in there. And like I mentioned, I have a lot of basil going on. I have like hot pink Swiss chard, kale right here. These are my little string beans. I have a little baby string bean there. That's really exciting. I have some cucumbers getting started over here. And butter lettuce.
We're not seeing pictures of you.
It's a video. If you see, if you look at the view on the upper right corner, you can see everybody with gallery view.
And you click on speaker view.
There you go. And if you want, I can actually send you the video as well. Hopefully we can see it on the video. And I had bought some organic green onion. Now, this I've been eating off of for 3 months now. And I think they're just about on their last leg. So I'm gonna have to go buy another bunch, but I've been eating off of the same 6 green onions for the last 3 months. And then over here, my son wanted some romaine lettuce, so I had to get him some romaine lettuce started. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna turn off my phone and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I could try to show you guys